All right, a very good evening, good people, right? I hope that you're all okay, right? Um, so in this session, we're going to talk about financial matters, right? We're gonna talk about money, right? It's that time of the year, so definitely we have to discuss money, especially now that you're all creatures, right? So you know that next year you'll be handling your own finances, right? So you have to make sure that this topic, at least you master it. So, without wasting any of your time, right, we're going to discuss the present value. I preferably prefer, is that correct? To start with present value before future value, because let's start with the present thing, what is happening now, and then we can talk about the future afterwards, right? So this is the formula for the present value here, right? 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n, and then divided by I. Now, it's not only this formula that you're going to be using, right? There are other formulas that are going to come into play. But most importantly, you should remember your compound interest formula, okay? Which is usually called appreciation. You can remember there's depreciation. This one is appreciation. Whenever you see this formula, I want you to think of an increase in money, okay? An increase in the amount of money. Let me write it like that. So that is what it is usually used for. However, this one, good people, first of all, where are you going to use this formula, right? You're going to use it when we're talking about loans, right? They talk about someone wanting to take out a loan, or who has been given a loan to either buy a house, buy a car, buy a laptop, etc. Then you're going to use present value, the present value formula, okay? Also, you're going to use it when we're talking about what we call regular withdrawals, okay? Regular withdrawals. Now, in terms of this one, I usually say to people, right, if you win a lotto, right, of around 5 million rands, right, here you are, you won a lotto of around 5 million rands. There are people who are winning this lotto, ne? Try not to make sure that you end up on I blew it, right? Because we don't handle these finances well, right? So when you win such an amount of money, it is wise to go and put that money in the bank. Okay, put that money in the bank. After you have put it in the bank, now withdraw kancane, right? Which is an Afrikaans word for slowly. So meaning that maybe every month, go and withdraw yourself maybe 2,000 rands. Okay, you are making those regular withdrawals, right? So that's when we're going to use that present value formula. Okay, so in a way it means you are now giving yourself salary. You see, now that is wise, because you can do that for a period of years other than buying everyone alcohol and stuff, right? So let's start with some of the implications of the formula, or rather what each variable is in the formula. All right, P, start with P, right? P stands for, usually we can say the loan, stands for the loan, or the amount you have presently, okay? The amount you have presently. So it's called present value. You have the amount now. Even if I give you a loan, good people, understand that you're going to get the money now, and then you're going to pay off the loan through monthly payments. Speaking of which, X is going to be the regular payments that you are making, okay? The amount of regular payments that you are making, the amount, right? Or we can say we can call it just the regular payment. Usually they are going to be equal, okay? However, we will still see that there are cases whereby now the last payment is not going to be equal to the other payments, okay? And then I stands for the interest rate, right? Compounded to a certain compounding period. You must understand that if you are given a loan, right? If you are given a loan, you cannot bring back the loan as it is without interest, okay? So the loan is going to be gaining interest for as long as you have not finished paying off the loan. So that is the interest rate we're talking about. And then another thing is that if you put that money you won through Lotto, right, in the bank, if you put it in the bank, it's not just going to stay in the bank there and then when now you're just withdrawing 2,000. Actually, while it is in the bank, it's going to be earning interest, okay? It's going to be earning interest, which means that you are actually winning because it's earning interest, and then when you're making regular withdrawals, it means that that is a very, very smart move to make, eh? Imagine your money is earning interest at the same time you're withdrawing every month. It means you are now self-employed without working. Wow, very nice stuff. And then what about N, right? So for your N, right? For N, that is the most important part. You know, in future value, present value, N, good people, will give you a headache, eh, if you don't take care of N. So you must be very, very careful in terms of N. But essentially, N will be talking about the number of payments, okay? The number of payments. But these number of payments, it could be payments that have already been made, right? It could be payments that have already been made, or it could be payments that are left, right? Payments that are left. Payments that are left in order for you to settle the loan. Okay, so N, it could be two things: payments that are left, or it could be payments that have already been made. So it's two things there. You might need to take some bit of notes here, right? Because as you go through questions, these things will be crucial, isn't it? Right. So because of that, right, try to, if possible, try to take a screenshot or something, right? So that you have the notes with you as we go through the questions that will be following, right? And I will try my level best to explain at each point, and then open also a chance for questions if you do not understand, right? Feel free to ask. Okay. So, right, maybe for those who have just joined, right, please, good people, take a screenshot or something, yeah? But essentially, that is what we are referring to there. We're talking about present value annuities, which will be like that. So P is the loan or the amount you have presently. X will be the regular payments. I will be the interest rate that the loan will be earning, or the money that you put in the bank will be earning, right? And then N will be the number of payments, either that have already been made or the number of payments that are left to be made, so that you can settle the loan. All right. Now, there are two types of loans, eh? There is what you call a normal loan, right? A normal loan. Then there is what you call a deferred loan, right? Whereby you have some deferred payments. And then you have a normal loan. A normal loan that later on becomes abnormal. No, let's call it deferred, right? All right. Those are the three types of loans that you're going to encounter in your NSC exams. So we need to understand or differentiate between the three. After we have differentiated, it will make things easy for us, right? So sorry for that. Right, so it will make things quite easy, so that we understand that. Ne? Now, what would be a normal loan? I'm going to make a timeline, okay, so that we understand, or rather understand that I'm going to make maybe just a year, right, a timeline for a year to get us started, right? So let's just say this is a timeline for 2024, ne? This is the third month, the fourth month, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, ninth, 10th month, 11, and then the 12th month. Okay, this is our timeline here. So a normal loan, right, is one whereby after being granted the loan, you are given what you call a gap, right, to say enjoy the money, then you can pay us after some time. In simple ways, right, if let's say a T0, right, let's say it is the day on which you are granted the loan. Let's just say you are given a loan of 6,500 rands, okay? This is the day on which you are granted the loan. It could be the 1st of January, ne? At month end, right, remember here is the 1st of Jan, eh? Let's just write it here, 1st of Jan. This one here, this T1, it represents the 31st of Jan, or you can say it represents the 1st of February. Okay? So usually, because your books, they want to be consistent, right? What they do is that if they are talking about T0 to be maybe the 1st of January, then T1, they usually call it the 1st of February. Okay? The 1st of February. And then it will follow like that. This will then be the 1st of March, right? And then the 1st of April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. However, right, in terms of loans, all you need to take care of, or rather to understand, is where you are starting to make payments when you were given the loan. So let's just say you were given the loan here, right, on T0. You are allowed a bit of a gap before you can start paying off your loan, okay? So it means that month end of January, you need to start paying off your loan now. Then you're going to make those maybe monthly payments like that, okay? But if it so happens that you start to pay the loan maybe 2 months after, right? You start to pay the loan 2 months after it was granted, 2 months after it was granted, then what is going to happen is that it means you would have started to pay here, but you were supposed to start here, remember? So we say you have missed a payment there. Okay, so if you start 2 months after, it means you're going to have one missed payment. Okay, and then if you start, so I'll just maybe try to copy everything again, right, to save time, right? So if perhaps it so happens that no, you didn't start 2 months after, you actually started, let's just say you started 3 months after, it means you started to pay here, right? That is 3 months after. It means you have missed how many payments? You have missed 2 payments. 2 payments have been missed. Okay? Then if it happens, right, that maybe you didn't start paying 3 months after, let's just say you started to pay 4 months after. Okay? Let's say you started to pay 4 months after. That will mean that you started to pay here, but the loan was granted a long time ago, right? It was granted 4 months back. So it means how many payments have you missed? You have missed 3 payments, right? So for 4 months after, you have missed 3 payments. So I think you can see the trend from these 3 good people that if you started to pay 2 months after the loan was granted, you have missed 1 payment. If you started to pay 3 months after the loan was granted, you have missed 2 payments. You are just saying 3 minus 1, 2 minus 1, 4 months minus 1. It means it will give you the number of payments that you have missed. Okay, let's try that one last time, right, for the sake of mathematics, right? Let's say you did not start 4 months after. Let's say you started when yeah, let me say you started 7 months after, right? You started 7 months after. How many payments would you have missed there, right? So 7 months after would be here. Take a second to think of it, right? How many payments have you missed? Tick tock, tick tock, tick. Yes. Yes, Miss Yolanda.
6 payments.
Very nice, very nice. You have missed 6 payments, right? So it means you have missed the payment for here, there, and there. All right. So I hope that was clear, good people, in terms of how you get the amount of missed payments. Oh, sorry. Oh, yeah. How you get the number of missed payments, right? So let's just look at an example, maybe, right? A question, right? To see how do we apply this. Now, let's understand also, before we can even look at a question, right? Let's understand that if you missed 1 payment, 2 payments, 3 payments, the fact that you would have missed a certain number of payments, good people, there comes a consequence because of that. There is a consequence of that. What will be the consequence? Let's just say that you remember the loan was 6,500 that you were given, and then you missed 1 payment. When you start paying here, good people, right, and you must understand that the loan is no longer going to be 6,500, which means your P, right, your P is no longer going to be 6,500 when you use the present value formula, but now your P will be an increased value. So it means that you would have to increase that loan by a month. Now it will depend on the interest you have, right? But when you increase the loan, right, you can write new loan will be equal to, so you're going to use the this formula here, P into 1 plus I to the power of n to get the new loan. Okay, because we have to increase the loan. Nagere, you didn't pay that for that time that you were supposed to pay for, so we have to increase the loan. So to get the new loan, you'd use this. But good people, how many payments were missed? It's 1 payment. So for your n here, right, your n, you're going to put 1. If you miss 2 payments, the new loan, right, the new loan will be equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of what? To the power of 2, because you have missed 2 payments. So when you use this formula, just remember that n there is going to be the number of payments that you have missed. If you missed 3 payments, the new loan, right, the new loan will be equal to P into 1 plus I to the power of 3. However, what will be P, right? P is the old loan, good people, okay? P will be the what? The old loan that you initially agreed on, meaning that will be the 6,500. That is the old loan that will grow to a new loan, okay? So it means even here the P would be what? 6,500, the old loan, right? The old loan. We're going to look at an example and just see how we apply whatever I've just told you here. So here, to get the new loan, right? To get the new loan, that would be P into 1 plus I to the power of 6, because you missed 6 payments. Now it is very important to understand that, because everything we're going to talk about is based on this. So let's have a question, right, just to see how this thing is usually asked, right? Now I do have some. Do I have some questions? I'll look for them, but for now let's just say you have a loan of 2 million rands, right? Was granted to Mr. Pete, ne? To Mr. Pete. So you see it, in order for him to buy a house, he will make regular, right, equal regular payments to settle the loan in 20 years, right? And it's usually what happens in real life. So you make those in order to settle the loan in 20 years, in order to settle the loan in 20 years, right? So then the bank says, okay, the bank gives him an interest rate of 6.8% per annum, compounded monthly, right? Regular monthly payments, sorry, let me just put here regular monthly payments, right? So he makes his payment 1 month after the loan was granted. How much will be his monthly payments? Right. So we started very easy like this, right? So that at least we can go along quite nicely, right? You have a loan of 2 million rands that was granted to Mr. Pete in order for him to buy a house, right? So you will be making regular or equal regular monthly payments. Yo, I know that English there, smelling fish here, but I know you do English, good people, as it's maths here, right? So in order to settle the loan in 20 years, the bank says, no, we'll give you an interest rate of 6.8% per annum compounded monthly for granting you the loan. So our loan is going to be increasing at 6.8% every month. Joe. So he makes his payment 1 month after the loan was granted. How much will be his monthly payments? When you look at a question like this, you must be able to tell whether this is a normal loan or this is a deferred loan. Well, it is a normal loan because he made the payment 1 month after the loan was granted. This statement here, good people, tells you that this is actually a normal loan, because when you make a payment 1 month after the loan was granted, that is what is allowed to say. You will make the payment 1 month after. This is the gap we're discussing here, the gap we're talking about here. Okay, the gap we're talking about here, because I cannot give you a loan of 6,500 today and then I expect you to pay me the very same day. That doesn't make sense. If you do that, please know that that is going to be a discount, meaning that we are going to reduce your loan by the amount you paid. If you paid 100 rands, it means your loan is no longer 6,500. Your loan is now 6,400. Okay? So if you make the payment, the first payment on the day the loan was granted, it will be a deposit. All right? And that will reduce the loan. However, in normal cases, we pay after a month, which is the gap that is required. Not more than a month. If you make a payment more than a month after, meaning 2 months, 3 months, then you've missed some payments. Then we're going to increase the loan. But let's start here. So he makes his payment 1 month after the loan was granted. Again, how much will be the monthly payments? Obviously, good people, because we are talking about a loan, you already know that, oh, okay, I'll be using my present value formula, right? So you then say x into 1 minus 1 plus I hope I'm writing it correctly, divided by I, right? So the present value is the loan that was granted, right? So 2 million rands was granted, right? And then X, what would be X is the monthly payments, okay? We do not know how many, how much is it, right? Then we have 1 minus 1 plus. The interest, you were given that is 6.8% compounded monthly. Good people, if you are given that percent, the interest in terms of percentage, please make sure that to convert that into a decimal form by doing what? By dividing by 100. So I think you should get 0,068, okay, divided by 12 because it's compounded monthly, minus. Now, in Afrikaans, they say yaqala inkathazo, right? When you come to N, that's where the problem begins, right? So you must be very careful in terms of N. But worry not, if they said 1 month after the loan was granted, he started to make payments, then you shouldn't worry that much because you are just going to simply say, since the loan must be settled in 20 years, how many months are in 20 years? Right. So if you want to do it in terms of a timeline, you just say T0. And then here on the last one, you're just going to say 20 multiplied by 12 to get how many months are in 20 years. How many months are in 20 years? Anyone can tell us how many months are in 20 years? Yes? Okay. All right. So, yes. How many?
240.
240. Thank you so much. So that will be T240. Okay? So this is how your timeline will look like because we are talking about what? We're talking about months. However, now remember, he made his payment here on T1. He made his first payment there. So he's going to make payments from T1 up until T240. So those will be 240 payments, okay? So in simple words, you just take the number of years, you multiply by 12, and then you will get the number of payments, right? And then you're going to divide here by 0,068, right, over 12. Then I think from here, good people, right, you would be able to solve that one, right? Because now it is solving for X, right? So what I usually say is that when it's like this, it's very much simple, right? What you will do is that you can put this in your calculator. You see this part here that looks like a frog, right? You put that in your calculator. As long as it is, then you are going to get an answer there, right? Which for me personally would be very difficult as I'm talking to you, right? So I'm so hoping maybe there's someone who's a bit faster there in terms of calculators, right? And then just tell us the answer to this, to that part there without rounding off. Yes, Miss, it's Musa. Sorry. Yes, Musa.
Yes. Also, it's 131.
131.
0.003303.
Like this.
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much, Musa. So, after getting that value, then we can simply divide, right? 131,003303. We also divide by 131,003303. Then that will allow us to get X, which will be the monthly payments. So what would be X then? So you'd say 2 million divided by that value there. Right. Okay, as maybe, yes, Miss Bussy.
Say it's 15,266.7906.
1779. Okay, perfect. So this would be his monthly payments. Okay, so if you want to buy that house, right, and then you are given this interest, then you can actually calculate and say, oh, so it means every month from my salary I must take out 15,266.79. Right, so that will assist you there. Now what I will do, right, to make things very very easy, right, I'm going to take the very same question. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Is it possible to take this part? Okay, seems not possible. But then what I'll do is that I can copy it. I don't know, paste. It's white. It's black. Yo. Okay. So let me maybe try to look at try to take this problem again, but we're going to rephrase it this time. Okay, so this time we're going to say he makes his payment, right, his first payment um 8 months after the loan was granted. How much will be his monthly payments? So I've just changed the question a bit, ne? Now the question now says he makes his first payment 8 months after the loan was granted. How much will be his monthly payments, right? I want you to take note of the monthly payments we had when he paid on time, ne? Then I want you to take the monthly payments, to check the monthly payments here when he has missed some payments. Now that monthly payment must increase because he still has to settle the loan in 20 years. You understand me? Because he has to settle the loan in 20 years. So now how are we going to solve that, right? So first of all, because he made the payment 8 months after the loan was granted, how many payments did he miss? Do you still remember how we can get the number of payments missed? Anyone to assist us? Yes, Miss Yolanda.
This means that the NN is going to be 7.
Perfect. So he missed 7 payments. So we can write it here, right? So he missed 7 payments. Now because he missed 7 payments, this loan is going to grow for that period whereby he was missing the payments. So how will it grow? You will use this one to get the new loan, okay? To get the new loan, which is the new present value. So you say A is equals to P into 1 plus I to the power of N, right? P is the old loan, remember, which was 2 million, right? Which was 2 million rands. And then the interest does not change, it's still 0,068 divided by 12. And then the N, right, will be the number of missed payments, which is 7. So from there, good people, right, if you can quickly punch that into your calculator, right, you should get the new loan that Mr. Pete has to pay there. Anyone who got it before me? 068 divided by 12 to the power of 7. Right, so the new loan will be 2 million, right, and 80,000 694 809 831 9208. Okay, my phone calculator might give me so many values maybe compared to yours, ne? So take note of that. But we don't round off usually in financial maths before we get to the final answer, okay? So hence I'm writing everything. Now that we have the new loan, right, the question says how much will be his monthly payments. So now you're going to say the loan has increased. Now you can calculate the new monthly payments. Usually they can call them the new monthly payments or the increased monthly payments. So you'd say P is equal to X, right? 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of negative n, right? You divide that by I. Now the present value now will be the new loan there, okay? To say 2,080,694,80 until 8 there, the last digit, right? So I'm just doing that to save us a bit of short amount of time we have. And then the interest, right, is 0,068, right? We divide that by 12. Please, good people, I might make a mistake, right? Because these values, there would be quite a lot in the head, right? So please do tell me if I do make a mistake there in terms of punching in the values that are, maybe I leave a comma or something, right? So what would be n now, right? Now n, good people, n will be the payments that are left to be made, the payments that are still to be made, okay? If you can remember very well, initially we said 20 years. In 20 years we have 240 months, right? If you can remember, we have 240 months. So to get the number of payments that are left here that should be made, right, you say 240 minus the 7 missed payments, right? So when you say 240 minus 7, you should get 233 there, okay? You should get 233. That will give you the payments that are still to be made, all right, of the payments that will be made after the 7 missed payments. So now and then your interest is 0,068. You divide that by 12, right? Then from there you can just do a similar procedure to what we did the last time, right? By doing what? By putting all of this into your calculator, all of this, and getting a value there, right? And then after that you can divide. Yes, Miss Yolanda, you managed to put that one. So if you would quickly do that, right? So you would say, it's a lot of money, a lot of values, right? 068. You must be careful to punch them correctly in your calculator, right? So as to avoid any errors there. And then also don't forget that minus, then you have divided by 0,068 over 12. I know that usually in memos there is some they just do it once, right? But just for maybe not to make mistakes, because you can actually get this by doing what we told you there, right? So now you can say this one. Let's take it down there, right? So you will say this very amount, right? This very amount, and then here you would have your x, right? And then inside there, I think you should have 129,168, right? And then you have 816, right? Then you have 03464. Like I told you, my calculator might give me extra values there. So you then divide by the very same number to get your x, right? So the x would be the 20 million 694, right, 809, right, 809 831 9208, right? Then you divide by the answer. So you should get that his new monthly payments now will be 16,108 right? 108.34 rands. Then that is the final answer there. So in that case, you can see that the payments have increased. Okay, the payments now have increased because he still has to settle the loan in 200 and in 20 years, right? Because our timeline was like this. If you can remember, we have T0, then we have T240, isn't it? So around T8, that is where he started to make his payment. So he's going to make payments from T8 until T240, right? So that is going to be 233 payments. So he missed 7 here. So I'm just going to write 7 were missed, right? 7 were missed this side. So when they were missed, the loan grew or increased, right? The loan increased, and then after that, here we use the present value formula to then get the new monthly payments. I hope that was clear, good people. Now what is going to happen is that in less than 2 minutes, in less than 2 minutes, this session is going to be cut off, right? You know, these people want us to buy these things, right? So they usually limit our time to an hour. However, there is one last part that is crucial, good people, whereby the payments are not missed at the beginning or at the beginning, right? The payments are missed somewhere along the way. That one is when we're saying that it was a normal loan, but then something happened. So for example, if I can say to you, maybe he couldn't make the 198th payment, 199th payment, and stuff, and then ask you to say what will be his new monthly payments, right? So now that part is very crucial, and that will be maybe the last part I would be talking with you guys on, right? So I will try to send another link in just a minute, right? You can check in the group there if you want to continue there. Otherwise, I hope from what we have just said, present value is making sense. Okay, so I'll meet you in just a few seconds. Okay, so would be continuing there. Okay, so as I said, we'll be continuing, right? So let me just share the screen with you guys so that we can proceed from where we left there, right? Yeah, so this is the part, right? So just afford them maybe just 4 minutes to join, and then we can then proceed. So far, remember we've talked about a loan that was granted and everything was going according to plan, right? You get the loan, you pay a month after, and then you get your monthly payments that you must pay. And then we talked about this one here, whereby we miss some payments. Here 7 payments were missed, right? So we did then indicate to you there that because of the missed payments, the loan will grow, or rather will increase, right? So we're going to continue from there and then try to look at what happens if you're going to miss payments maybe along the way, along the way. But we would start first with outstanding balance, right? We have to start first with outstanding balance, and then from there we can talk about what happens when you miss some payments and stuff. Okay, so we have to talk about outstanding balance first, right? How to calculate it and which formulas we usually use to calculate your outstanding balance. So maybe let me write it here, that okay, now we're still on present value, but now we're going to discuss outstanding balance and then finish off there with some deferred payments. Right. Okay, I don't know if there's still more. We said maybe 8:55 we can start, but we're going to discuss outstanding balance, right? And then some of the deferred payments, to say how do we deal with deferred payments, right? And how do we calculate the outstanding balance after maybe some period there, right? So let's have that. Right. Okay. Oh, and I see Andile there. Nice to see you, Andile. It's been a long time. I think last time our online students, we had a session on I think it was life science, right, on Sunday. I had a privilege of joining there. It was quite a nice session. So on Thursday it's going to be the same thing, but it will be physics on Thursday, right? So that should be fine there, right? Okay, so I think we can then proceed, right? Outstanding balance. Now, what is an outstanding balance? I think it's self-explanatory that this is now the amount of money you are left with, so that you can settle your loan. Okay, so how will a question maybe ask something like that? I'm going to take the very same question that we had, right? But I'm going to split it into at least 2 parts. Okay, I'm going to split it into 2 parts so that you see how the questions are usually asked, right? So usually the question will be like this. Let's just say, let's start with 1 month after the you make his first payment 1 month after the loan was granted, right? Then the first question says how much will be his monthly payments. Number 2 then says what is or calculate, right? Calculate his outstanding balance after the maybe the 16th payment. Okay, now this is how the questions would come looking like, right? Still with Mr. Pitt, who was given a loan of 2 million, right? In order for him to buy a house, he's going to make equal regular monthly payments or equal monthly payments. This English, let me just remove regular here. You will be making equal monthly payments in order to settle the loan in 20 years. Now the bank gives him an interest rate of that component monthly. He makes his first payment 1 month after the loan was granted. Number one, he says how much will be his monthly payments. I think that one we've already calculated. And I think it was from the first one, which was 15,000. So I'll just take it here, right? It's 15,266,79. 15,266,79. So for number one, remember it was 15,000. Joe, I forgot. Yo, it's 15,000 what? Yo, 266,79. Yo, such a simple number, right? 266,79. Remember, this is what he's paying monthly. Okay, now number two, we want to know now what is his outstanding balance after the 16th payment. Usually it's very, very much helpful to use a timeline so that you visualize what is going on there. Right, so if you can remember, right, we are working from T0, and then we said 20 years is 20 times 12, which gives you what? Which gives you 240 months. Okay, now they want to know, right, after his 16th payment, right, which could be maybe somewhere there, after his 16th payment, what is his outstanding balance? Immediately they can even put sometimes they can even put the word immediately, right? Immediately after the 16th payment. So immediately after here, what is the outstanding balance? Now, the formula that I'm going to recommend, right, for outstanding balance, there are two of them, right? There is one that use right, this one here, outstanding balance is equal to P into 1 plus I to the power n minus x into, which is the future value part now, right, to the power of n minus 1, right, all divided by I. So there is this formula to calculate outstanding balance, or alternatively, right, or you could use outstanding balance, you could use this formula here. You could use the present value formula, which is x into 1 minus 1 plus I to the power negative n, right? You divide that by I. So you could use any of the two. Personally, I will not dispute, or rather say use this one. Okay, I think at the end of the day, this one boils down to your own personal preference to say, I want to continue using this one, or I want to be using this one, right? However, any one of those that you're going to choose, please be very much careful, right? Please be very much careful in terms of how you would use that one there, right? So let's see. So I don't know. Okay, let's maybe use the first one first, right, to calculate the outstanding balance. I'm hoping today we won't get different answers, so the first method, we could say outstanding balance, right, is equal to OB would be outstanding balance, and then, or they can even say calculate the balance on the loan. Good people, it is still outstanding balance. So let's look at the loan, right? The loan is how much? The loan is 2 million rands. Okay, let's be careful there. The loan is 2 million rands, right? So your P will be the loan, and then you're going to say the interest there is 0,068 divided by 12. What will be N, good people? This N and N will be the same. Now, in terms of, if you're using this formula, N means the number of payments that have already been made. Did you hear that? The number of payments that have already been made. So, how many payments have been made from T? Remember that he started paying a month after the loan was granted. So from T1 to T16, good people, how many payments are those, right? That would be 16 payments, right? That would be 16 payments. That would be 16 payments. Okay, and then you're going to say minus, what are the monthly payments, right? Remember, it's 15,266,79, right? And then you'll have 1 plus 0,068 divided by 12 to the power of what? 16 minus 1. Okay, all divided by 0,068 over 12. Now I'm going to leave you to use your calculators there, good people, and get that outstanding balance there after the 16th what? Payment. Ne? You will tell me once you have gotten the answer. Please you can just raise your hand there. Right, or we could use the second method, right? So how to use the second method? I'll just write it at the bottom here. So you would say X, right? X would be the monthly payments that you are making. This one you're using the present value formula. This one you're using compound and future value. All right. So here you'd say 15,266,79, right? 1 minus, right? I see a hand. Say, do we ignore the immediately? That's a good question. Do we ignore the immediately? Okay. So if I say to you, I want to know the outstanding balance immediately after the 16th payment, we don't really ignore it because you're going to count. If you're using this formula here, this one, the first one, you are going to count from T1 to T16. Okay, that means I'm also including the 16th payment. You understand me? I'm also including it. So usually if they say immediately, or if they just say after the 16th payment, it really means the same thing. You understand me? It really means the same thing. So I don't want to say we're ignoring it, but it's just the same thing. Okay. Right, and then here we have 1 minus, okay, we're using this one, right? So we're going to say 1 plus, the interest is 0,068 divided by 12 to the power of negative. Now, in terms of this one, the N will be the number of payments that are left, okay? Number of payments that are left. So after the 16th payment, how many payments are left to settle the loan? You would get it by saying what? By saying 240 minus 16. Understand me? Then you're going to get how many payments are left. Okay? 240 minus 16. You get how many payments that are left. So I think it should give you how much? 216, minus 16. Oh, should give you a 224. So I think I think maybe 224 there, right? Should give you 224. You divide that by 0,068 divided by 12. people, we should get the same answer if we applied this correctly, right? So what would be the answer here, and then what was the answer for this one? Anyone who calculated that for us? Okay, and remember, when I'm saying after the 16th payment, it means that 16 payments have already been made. The remaining payments will just be 240 minus 16, like we did there. Yeah, which is 224. All right. Yes, Andile.
1,934,317,89.
Is it for the blue part? Like, is it for this formula? Oh, okay. 1,934,000.
317,
Uh-huh.
89.
89. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. What about here when you're using the present value formula? What would be for the present value? You've not gotten it, Mr. Liam.
Not yet, I'm still counting.
Okay, all right. Yes, Miss Yolanda.
I got C. 1,929,249. Got my
Okay, 1 million. It's not sounding.
No.
It's not sounding like that one. Okay.
Let me double check that.
Okay. Yes, Mr. Liam.
Mania, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Mania, we've already took out the 8 payments.
We already. Yeah.
The person missed 8 payments, right?
Yeah. No. Remember, the question is, this one is straightforward. Remember, it's just saying a loan was granted, right? And then he makes his payment 1 month after the loan was granted. So we wanted to know how much will be his monthly payments. I think we used this formula here to get his monthly payments. The total payments is 240, remember? Then we're able to calculate for the monthly payments. Now we are saying to you, it so happens that we want to know now what is his outstanding balance after the 16th payment. After he has made the 16th payment, what is the outstanding balance? So we're saying there are 2 ways of calculating the outstanding balance. You can use this one here, which is appreciation minus the future value, right? Which means the growth of the loan minus the payments you've made. Or you could use this one, which means outstanding balance here, it's using N as the number of payments that are left. So we said that since 216 have already been made, it means those that are left is going to be 240 minus 216, which is 224. So now I want to understand, right, to say what will be the outstanding balance there when you use that formula there into your calculate. Ideally, it should be the same as the blue part, right? They should give us the same answer.
Sir,
Uh-huh.
sir, I have a question.
Yeah.
Sir, why is it that for the second formula, put to the power of a negative n instead of positive?
1 plus I. Oh, you are saying why does the formula have a negative n?
Yes, sir.
Okay, that's a very nice question. So when you derive the present value formula, because remember this is the present value formula, it's essentially this, right? So it just so happens that when you derive that formula there, right, you are to get your n as negative because you know the derivation of it is much having some theory there, right? So you, the way in which it was derived was to say you are taking the payments, then you are reversing them before they earn interest. So I think when we have time sometime, right, we'll go through how it was derived. But for now, you can just be familiar with how to use it and maybe know that when I'm using it for outstanding balance, my n should be the number of payments that are left. Even when we are using it just to get the monthly payments, n will be the number of payments that are left. Okay, so it works in reverse, that formula, as opposed to future value that is going forward. That's why the n will be positive that side. Okay, so let me say, good people, right, I don't know how much you got there, right, and maybe if they are different, right, that will be a bit of a challenge there, but then essentially if you can understand how those two formulas work, then you should be okay then. So it should be negative 224, and then we should get 0.068 over 12. Oh, good people, it gives us the same thing. Lona, you don't want to give me answers, but then it's fine. So it will be 1 million, right, 934 1,317 comma 80, right? Yeah, there's just a small variation here because this is 89 and then this is 80, right? But essentially those values, right, they are the same. That's why we usually have a range, right, to say if you use both formulas, we allow the candidate who wrote to give us values from here to there. So is it clear, good people, how we calculate the outstanding balance? Any question? Okay.
Sir, can I ask a question?
Yes, Musa.
Sir,
Yeah.
you see there when we used the future value formula,
Is what?
where we use the n,
Yeah.
why didn't we multiply it by 12?
Ah, that's a very, very good question. Why we didn't multiply it by 12, right?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. So let's understand that Mr. Pete is making monthly payments. Ne? The interest is compounded monthly. So here we need to put how many months or how many payments there are or that have already been made. You understand me? If you multiply that by 12, it means you are saying that when you would be calculating the outstanding balance after 16 years, immediately multiply that by 12. Ne? It means that you are saying the 16 is the number of years, and then the 12 now will be to get the number of years in 16, the number of months in 16 years. The moment you say this, it means that you are trying to convert the years to months. But now let's be, think of it,
Oh, yes, I see.
right? 16th
Yes,
payment
yeah.
will mean the 16th month, right?
Yes, sir.
Yes, perfect. Thank you so much for that question. Yeah, Busi. Yes, come again.
I raised my hand for the outstanding balance and for the private credit.
Oh, I only heard you raised your hand to talk about the outstanding balance, right? Okay, I didn't quite hear what you said last there, but um, okay, that is fine. Yes, I saw a hand, Miss Yolanda, or you don't have a question on that?
Sir,
Uh-huh.
do you only use the future value formula
Yeah.
with the accumulating formula or the compound formula when doing this first method?
Yes. You only use the compound interest formula and the future value formula. Those are the only two that you use for the first method.
Okay.
Great. All right. So, right, I'm happy, right, because now you know how to use that outstanding balance, right, method. Ne? However, right, a question can then also come. This is now the last, maybe. Okay, I know it's okay. It's going to be like maybe due to financial challenges, right? Then that's where things start. Due to financial challenges, Mr. Pitt missed the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd payment, right? Due to some challenges, it happens in life. So then they then say the bank allowed him to still continue paying off the loan, but with increased, let me put it this side, right, so that we can see it. I hope there's still space here. Right. So this is what we have, right? I'm writing it here because we're going to need the information from the last calculation. The bank allowed him to still continue paying off the loan, but with increased monthly payments. Ne? Then it says calculate his increased monthly payments, right? Good people, this is the flow of a of compounding of loan questions, right? On present value questions, this is the flow. If someone had given me this type of flow when I was still in school, good people, right? So due to some financial challenges, Mr. Pitt then missed the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, 21st, and 22nd payment. Then the bank allowed him to still continue paying off the loan, but with increased monthly payments so that he can still settle the loan in 20 years. What will be his increased monthly payments? Right. When a question now says something like this, good people, take note of this type of question, right? You must be very, very careful there, né? However, I'm going to show you that the trend of these questions are always the same. To say that the question will always ask you about an outstanding balance on the 16th payment, and then they are going to tell you that the person missed the next payment, 17th, 18th, 19th, and stuff. Go and check all the previous papers. That's how they usually ask it. It doesn't mean that, I cannot say to you, he faced challenges maybe on the 18th, 19th, 20th, that's when he missed. But it will just be quite a bit of, we use the word in maths, and again, daunting question, meaning that it will just be a lot of calculations unnecessarily so. So the examiners usually make it easy for us by saying, if you have calculated the outstanding balance on this after the 16th payment, you are now going, they now tell you that it's going to miss the 17th, 18th, 19th, 20th, and stuff. The next ones, you understand me? To make the calculations easy. Let me show you a previous paper here. Oh, I thought I had it here, right? Oh yeah, here it is. Let me show you maybe this one here so that you can get a feel of what is happening or what is gonna happen in your exams there, right? Not this one, unfortunately. Will I remember where it is? Right, just maybe give me a second there. Right. Okay, I think I put them somewhere where I have forgotten where exactly. Oh yeah, here it is. Perfect. I want you to check this question here. This one is sinking fun. Question 9. Tshepo, Heaven. Having so many questions, good people, is something else. However, I think, okay, this is still sinking fund, right? I will find those questions for you guys, right? Don't worry, I'll find them. But I just wanted to show you that the trend is very much the same all the time. So you should just watch out for those questions, right? It will ask you for an outstanding balance after a certain payment, and then they're going to say the next payment he missed them. So without wasting any of your time, how do you then calculate that, right? You are simply going to say, okay, if you look at it in terms of a timeline, right, this is what happened. You have something that looks like this, and then remember it's T240, right? We started on T0, and then the last one is T240. Remember that we calculated the outstanding balance on T16, isn't it? Now they are telling you that here T17, T18, T19, T20, 21, and 22, he missed the payments, right? So I'll just be putting red here to show you that he missed the payments on those periods there, right? So this is T17, T18, T19, T20, T21, and T22, right? So we know that he also missed the 22nd payment, but we have T23 here. So I get it 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Yeah. And then he's going to start making his payments here again. All right? And then until the last day there. So we want to know what are the new monthly payments here when he decides to say, no, I'm going to start finishing off the loan again. Want to know what is the new monthly payments there. So let's understand this, right? This is how easy you can solve it. You're going to calculate the outstanding balance on T16. Okay? How you solve it? What are you going to do? You're going to calculate the outstanding balance on T16. After getting the outstanding balance, you're going to grow the loan or increase the loan according to the number of payments, meaning that you're going to use the formula A is equals to P into 1 plus I to the power of N. Remember we said we use this formula to increase the loan, right? After you have increased the loan, you are then going to use the present value formula here to get the new monthly payments. That's how easy it is. Okay? That's how simple it is. It's not difficult at all. So, we're going to calculate outstanding balance on T16, right? Unfortunately, I can't allow other people in now. We're already done with good people. That's right, skis. So now we already have the outstanding balance here. What is the outstanding balance? Remember, we calculated it from the previous question that said calculate the outstanding balance after the 16th payment. Let's remember, after calculating that outstanding balance, the next days or the next payment, he's going to miss them. You must check those questions. It's always the next payment. So the outstanding balance was, I'm going to take this one. I like this one. 193. It's how much? It's 1,934 and stuff. Like let me write it here, right? Here's the outstanding balance after the 16th payment. Outstanding balance after the 16th payment there, it's going to be 1,934, right? 317,80. All right, now that you will have that, right, you will then say you are going to grow the loan for 5 payments. Okay, so the new loan, remember, because of missing payments, the consequence is that the loan is going to increase. So the new loan will now be the outstanding balance, right? Usually we should not even have rounded off there, but then it's fine. The outstanding balance, then you're going to increase it using the very same interest. The interest was how much? It was 0,068, right? 0,068 divided by 12 to the power of what? To the power of 5. How many missed payments are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, to the power of 6. Okay? Just like we said when we started the lesson, to say you increase the loan according to the missed payments. That's what you do here. So the answer there will be how much? Anyone to assist us with the answer? 934,317,80, right? 068 over 12 to the power of 6. Right, so you'll get that the loan now is 2 million. Imagine it's back at 2 million and 23. 2 million. How do you read this thing? 2 million. Okay, we'll leave it for maths lead students, right? So as we're just going to say it's 2 million and something there, right? And then we have 371 and then 076, right? 648 and then we have 6. So this is the new loan. That new loan is now going to be settled during this period. So we are now going to use the present value formula. Okay, you will then go to the present value formula and say x, right, and say 1 minus 1 plus I to the power of n, right? Negative n, remember, like Miss Nzija said, negative n divided by I. So the present value, remember now it will be the new loan, right? So you put there 2,001,023, then you have 371,076,648,6, right? And then you say x, you do not know the new monthly payments, right? Then you say 1 minus 1 plus 0,068, you divide that by 12, all to the power of negative. Now, what will be the n, right? What will be the n? Right. What do you think will be your n there, good people? Your screen is still visible to others. nice. Okay, yeah. What will be your n there, good people? Yes. Liema.
Menya,
Mm-hmm.
it's going to be, I think it's going to be 224, Menya.
224
Minus 6. 218, Menya.
218.
Yes.
Okay, 218, 218. Okay, all right, all right. You know what is going to assist you, sir, right? I think you are going to get the same answer as me. What is going to assist you, good people? You don't look far. You're going to look at your number 2 when you calculated the outstanding balance after the 16th payment. Do you still remember when you calculated the outstanding balance? That's why I always tell my students that I prefer this formula to calculate outstanding balance. Sometimes they say maybe it's because I'm thinking this one with future value, maybe it's difficult. No, good people, this is because when we use the outstanding balance formula, do you still remember that 224 payments were left? That is the n that we used. Now, since it was 224 payments that were left, right? How many were missed? 6 were missed. So it means that the ones that are left now, it will be 224 minus the 6 that were missed, which is going to give you 218, just like Mr. Liema said. Very nice. I'm going to answer. I see there is a hand. I'm not sure if there is a hand. Let me check. Oh, yes, Sialanda.
I can't see the screen, sir.
You can't see the screen. Are you able to see now?
Yes, sir.
Oh, nice. Thank you so much. All right. So if you can check, right? So what I was saying to you is that when you have to do number 3, whereby due to financial challenges, what, ne? What you're going to do is that you're going to go to the 16th payment and say, after the 16th payment, here, we were left with how many payments? From T16 to T24, how many payments is that? You say 240 minus that. I think you're going to get 224 payments that were left. Then you're going to say how many were missed? 6 were missed, isn't it? So we're going to say minus 6, which will give you 218. It means that from here to there, it will be 218 payments that are left. Right? I hope that is clear. So that is why I prefer, when you calculate the outstanding balance, I personally prefer using the simple interest formula, so that I can remember how many payments were left after the 16th payment. Then those payments that were left, I'm just going to subtract the missed payments. That will give me the n for this one here to get the increased monthly payments. Right? If you have any question regarding that, please do tell me. That is the most crucial part that I actually wished to share with you guys, right? That I know that most people get confused when we come to that part. I know from here you can solve for x, right? That one I trust you with, right? My only worry was for you to know the procedure. So the procedure is that on the missed ones, right, you're going to increase the loan according to the missed payments. Then you're going to say the payments that were left after the 16th payment, right, you're going to say minus these missed ones. Then you get the n to get the increased monthly payments there. Right, is that clear? If it is clear, maybe I can also try to show you. Oh, it's not appearing here. I see. Okay, no problem. Yeah, I see. Is there a question there? Yes, Mr. Liam.
Menya, can I please ask, what is the restriction?
Restriction. You know, when you first mentioned restriction, Mener, I'm thinking that whatever we're doing is some restrictions on the present value formula, right? Apart from this, I'm not really sure what do you mean by restrictions.
I heard that there were restrictions when you're calculating the outstanding balance using the present value formula. So I don't know, but the person didn't really dwell into it, Mania. So that's why I thought I should ask him.
I see, I see. No, maybe on my side, I have not maybe come across um, a situation whereby the present value doesn't really work, right? I have not come across such a situation, but perhaps if I do, I'll make sure to share it with you. Eh? Yes, Miss Yolanda.
To answer Mr. Liamasa, I think the restrictions apply in N because when using the present value formula, you use the payments that are left to be made. But when using the first formula, you're using the payments that are already made. So that's where the difference comes in between the two formulas.
Oh, nice thing. Nice. Thank you so much. I hope you heard that, Mr. Liam. It means the restrictions she's saying it comes from these two options here to say when you use the N here, we are using the payments that have already been made, but here we're using the payments that are left or that are still to be made to settle the loan. Right, and then I said I would prefer using this one of payments that are left. Why? Because it then assists me to answer the next question if ever they tell me that someone faced difficulties and the likes. Okay, so that would be it in terms of present value.